Miami faces the Boston Celtics tonight in Boston for the first game of the Eastern Conference Finals, and I just want to make a prediction on the series. So, from what I see here, I'm just gonna go over some stats from both teams. From what I see from Miami during this playoffs, they've had six guys average double figures. Jimmy Butler is putting up Michael Jordan averages when you look at what he's doing right now. He's averaging 31.1 points per game on 52% overall from the field, 36 from three, 6.6 rebounds, 5.4 assists, 1.7 steals, zero point 0.8 blocks per game. So he's been making an impact on both ends of the court. You can see that in the game. He's playing on fire literally every game. This might be the best playoff run he's ever had. I could be mistaken, but he's just been elite. So you give him credit for that. You always respect guys who bring it during the playoffs and are actually better during the playoffs than a regular season. That shows that they're ready for the moment and they can play in a pressure situation like Jimmy's doing right now. So I give him a lot of credit. I definitely respect that. The other key guy for the Miami Heat is Bam Adebayo. He's been averaging 18.1 points per game, 9.2 rebounds, on 49% overall from the field. So he's been their second best player. He's been important for them on both the defensive end. He's their defensive anchor, and on the offensive end, being that legit number two scoring option for them right now. So those guys have been very important. But Miami's role players, they have stepped up from what I've seen in some of these games. Like I've seen guys like Gabe Vincent come up big. Max Struss, I'm not sure if I'm saying his last name correctly. Max is coming up huge. This guy is just some weird intangible player. When I see him on the court, he's only averaging 10.9 points per game, but I feel he just impacts both ends of the court when you look at the intensity he brings, how he's very quick at switching on the defensive end. It's like he's relentless. He never stops. He has a lot of energy. He's definitely one of those guys that you would hate to play against, but you would love to have on your team. He's annoying. He's a pest. So I think he has a huge impact on them winning games, even though he's only averaging 10.9. Gabe Vincent has been very solid for them. He's made some big plays. Grant, he's not efficient. He's been shooting 36% overall from the field. Caleb Martin has been a very good role player for them this this playoff run. And Kyle Lowry still has it as a vet. He's putting up good numbers off the bench. I think he really helps their bench, and he gives them a lot of order when he enters the game. Something that they need, I feel. So he's been great for them. I think he might be starting. I mixed it up. I think Gabe is a starter, but either way, his impact has been really good for them. And Kevin Love, he's not averaging double digits, but he's been very solid for them, getting like 7 points, 6 rebounds. So they have a collection of very good role players with Jimmy and Bam. And to stop them, I think you really gotta contain Jimmy. He cannot be getting 31 points on above 50% shooting. You have to be willing to go through the grind to limit them. And let's look at the Celtics, their stats. I want to bring that up right now. Let me just pull that up. Okay, so we have Jason Tatum leading the team in scoring at 28.2 points per game. He's shooting 45 overall from the field, so that's good. It's not great, but it's good. My rule for perimeter players should be they should shoot at least 45% overall from the field. He's shooting 35 from three, decent percentage. So he's been pretty good, I would say. I wouldn't say great because his efficiency could be better. Jaylen Brown has been great from an efficiency perspective. He's averaging 24.6 points per game on 54 overall from the field, 47 from three. So he's been ridiculous with what he's been doing just throughout the playoffs. Marcus Smart is their third leading scorer. He's been pretty good, 15.8 points per game, 46 from the field, 36 from three. So he stepped up during this playoff run. And Derek White has also been pretty good. I won't read out his numbers, but you'll take my word for it. He's been good. Malcolm Brogdon. So the Celtics have five guys averaging double figures, and they have a good collection of role players when you look at their depth from 1 through 8. So that's how far it really goes for them from what I see here. I think this will be a tough series for both of these teams. I think Celtics have just enough to overcome Miami like they did last year. I think in this series for Miami, they've been able to survive not having Oladipo and Hero for these playoffs because they went out early with injuries. But I think this is the series where their depth is going to be really missed. Granted, Hero didn't have a good series last year against the Celtics, but I think just him being out on the court, he's always an offensive threat, and he can make a difference in that regard. Now they don't have that, so I think it'll be a little bit easier for the Celtics to lock down the role players. Also, the Celtics didn't have Malcolm Brogdon last year, so I think he definitely adds to them in this series. I think he's going to be important when it comes to dealing with Kyle Lowry. So I would pay attention to that matchup. I think he's going to be big. And just Al Horford, he may be 100 years old, but I think he's still useful in this matchup against Bam. I think it'll be a lot easier for him to deal with Bam than he did with Joel Embiid, since Bam is a good player, but he's not MVP caliber like Joel Embiid is, allegedly. I say allegedly because of Embiid choking that final game against the Heat. So I think they're going to edge them out. It'll be a very gritty series. It'll be tough, and it'll be a grind just like it was last year. But I think this time around, it won't go to 6 games for the Celtics. I mean, it won't go to 7 games for the Celtics like it did last year. I see Boston beating them in 6 games. So that's my prediction for this series.